Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II World at War with our first ever PvP against SirTravis. SirTravis is really proud of whatever he did in China this turn. He said that his plan worked and he followed his goal. I don't know, we're gonna have to see. But I also heard he's not very happy with what has happened in the Mediterranean. And in fact, I know exactly what's happened in the Mediterranean, because he sent me messages begging for the life of a battleship. Wow, that submarine is really looking for something. Okay, yep. Oh, so he's just shifting everything forward. Fully expected. Yep. Equal trade. Nice. Not quite equal trade. Still fine enough. He's trying to encircle this. Very interesting. This is going to get really bad supply in a moment. So far, equal trades. Yeah. Oh, we killed more. He's going way too far out on a limb here with this one. This is a huge mistake. Equal trade. Actually, no. We're still positive KDR. Wow, that's it? Holy shit, dude. He made it sound like he went and claimed all of this for himself. What he actually did was he got a unit completely surrounded at this point. Like, that unit's stuck there. Is he attacking me? No, he just ran into me again. What is he doing there? I don't understand. That wasn't nearly as bad as he made it sound. Okay, he had me worried for a second. All he did was go on an aggressive assault. Alright, this is it. A battleship into this sub. Took 5 fucking damage. He did not make it back to port. I know he did not make it back to port because he's begging me for the life of this battleship. Now, what he doesn't know is that I do not have anything else over there, so I'm fully inclined to make some kind of deal, but we'll see. He moved Iraq by 6%. We disrupted the convoys there still, plus Australia, UK, Canada, UK. Yep, very good. Leon Trotsky assassinated, US delivers stuff. Yep, alright. And got the Bismarck battleship and a sub. Let's just find out maybe where to... Yeah, we'll figure that out later. But that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll make a deal with him over this. Sure. I can't kill it if I wanted to. Like, no, unless it's right here, I might have a chance, but realistically, I don't. So yeah, I'll go make a deal with him. He doesn't understand the situation. I love how it's this one, too. I was not going to have that one be so far up. Apparently, he said he was just checking his coast, and he did not expect this to be here. And I'm so glad that I put it there. But China, I think he really hyped up, because what did he do? Okay, so he kind of surrounded a core, but he's abandoned this right here as a front. All he's done is push a bunch of dudes up to this town. Like, I can't now just strike out. He's abandoned his fortifications to do a major push. And it is a major push, yes. And I may need to move some things to respond to it adequately. Sure. But this is not that bad at all. I thought he would have at least taken this rail line. He just moved out of his fortifications, that's it. He just intends to push and keep pushing, and that's all. That's really not bad, because he's not even getting a positive KDR against units that are weaker than him or not entrenched. So this is way better than what I hoped last turn. I'd hoped to lure out 4 units that I could maybe surround and kill one of. I've lured out, without trying, his entire northern force. The whole fucking thing, everything from Chengchao and up, has been lured out. That's insane. And I don't mind. That's better than I would have hoped, because now I can deal a ton of damage to this boy. He said it was a nice change of pace, and that's understandable because he's on a full offensive, but I think if he doesn't call this off soon, he might regret it. No matter what he accomplishes in this push, it's not going to be that great. Because he's still struggling down south. His capital is in reach. And all of this is going to be up here as a meat grinder. That's it. This is just, it's going to be one big meat grinder. And that's all. Nothing else that he does here can really benefit him too greatly. And it's too easy to take units from down here and send them back up. One thing that keeps happening is he keeps messaging me about China, saying he doesn't know how to win as China. He wants to win as China. And it's only 1940, so you could tell he's in a rush to get some kind of results. He doesn't like being the Allies' early war when they're supposed to be losing. which is, I guess, a good thing for me. But now that he's all lured out here, we got to figure out what to do with this. So first things first, we do have the Indochina Expedition Army ready to go. Let's swap him in. And then let's 31 MPPs transport him. Good, that gets him a little bit closer too. I figure we just drop him over by Tientsin, so we have another army in the region to respond to anything. Even if he's not upgraded, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he cuts this rail line or anything. He's gonna overextend himself. With me continuing to attack in the south and him trying to attack everywhere else, he's not gonna have the money to maintain this. And if he does, he won't have the money to do anything else. So let's send that Indochina Expedition Army over there. There you go. And then for the garrison, I guess we could just move the garrison back a bit. He doesn't really need to be anywhere near the danger, but that would function. That would be a functional idea. I could also just leave him up by Jahol, because these partisan points are under wraps for right now. So it could also just be something like that. Because I'm going to take the 2nd Kwantung Army, and we're probably going to move it up either here or here. Somewhere I feel we could deal the most damage. I feel like this guy's just asking for it, though. 3 supply, just like this now, because he, like, cut it off. But 3 supply is, like, asking to get beat up. Let's try it. Let's move 2nd Kwantung Army up to Peking, and we can only deal 2 damage right now, but combined with the core, we might get a little bit more out of it. Let's go ahead and hit it. 2 damage dealt as we expected. Unfortunately, 1 damage taken. Let's attack with the core as well. 1 damage taken. Or for him and none for me. Next, we have the 37th Army who's going to try to get some quick and easy kills against the core because we have better odds against the core. 4 damage dealt, no damage taken, and he runs away. That was pretty simple. We'll go ahead and reinforce this core up to max because it can just sit here and eat it. It was fighting 2 armies and it alone was able to keep up like a kind of like 1 to 2 KDR despite not even being entrenched. So I was rather happy with that. Yeah, we'll move this garrison down here for right now, drop this army off here, and now it has arrived, and I could leave it right there, or I could move it up. He's not going to be able to push this way, so let's go ahead and just move the Indochina Expedition Army forward, and this will put another zone of control right here, stopping him, I believe, from ever being able to completely surround this core. So it may have a reduced supply for right now, however, he does not, like, he's got 2 injured cores here that are like half dead and an army. If it retreats, it'll retreat right here, it'll be fine. And these 2 won't deal a lot of damage by themselves. I don't care about a little damage off of a core because I'm inflicting enough damage to make it worth it. Additionally, since this army moved up the Sing Sao Elite Army, which is a funny name, we can get some pretty good kills against it, just attacking across the river from our entrenched positions. 4 to 1 potential KDR. I'm gonna give it a shot. We dealt 4 damage. We took 2 damage, unfortunately. But if we swap the 6th army in, we can get a 1 to 2 KDR. That's not too much better, but we'll give it a shot. 2 damage dealt, only 1 taken. That was pretty much as advertised, but that was a pretty decent KDR. He's very focused on, like, acting like an AI, so he might see this as a total win for all I know. But I'm also quite happy with it because for taking 3 damage across 2 armies, he's taken 6 damage to one of his right here. This guy took no damage, dealt 4. This guy took 1 damage, dealt 2. This one took 0, dealt 1. And now he's stretched pretty thin. You know, he's got to move either more units, weaker units forward, while he recovers the ones that are injured. He's got to, like, swap these. But if he just swaps this and he doesn't reinforce it where it is or run it all the way away, then it's just going to get attacked again and probably, like, die next turn. Who knows? Maybe. He's not going to have the money, though. Armies are really fucking expensive, and I have a lot of money right now, and he doesn't. And so that's a big advantage. So now we can choose where this core goes, and I'm really not even sure where to send this core. I was going to send it right here. I don't even know if it's needed right here, to be honest. Maybe it would be better to kind of replace this core right here. If he keeps going for attacking this one, just like swap in and out. Because he's not pushing here, nor do I think he could really get away with it. So I'll probably just send this core right up here. And then I think I'll leave this one here still for now. Might swap it out if he doesn't attack it, or if he does attack it next turn. But for now, just leave it where it is. And in fact, I might just like swap the army here. This is a mountain still, core here, and then core back out. But we'll see what he does. This is like a weaker place for him because it's like 2 cores right there. Let's move the 21st Army up here. This engineer is really, really fragile, dude. Oh, God. We'll move the 17th Korean Army up as well, off of Nanning. Oh, man. He's gonna lose this. Wow, he's got the arty there. But still, look how weak this is. The bombers alone could probably take that out. Positive KDR appears good, so long as we kind of maintain that and give him a lot of blows. We're accomplishing what I want to accomplish, even if it is kind of split over who sees it as a victory and who doesn't or whatnot. I think I'm gonna just try to bomb this core out of existence. 2 damage dealt, as promised. None taken. Medium bombers, and it's shattered. We destroyed it from the air. Hilarious. So that allows me to do 2 blitz attacks here with the 21st Army, dealing 4 damage as promised. 17th Korean Army dealing 5 damage as promised. Now the engineer's right here and safe given where it is. The road goes up that way though, and we can't get up that way. We're a little roadblocked over here right now as things would happen, and this, I cannot get the HQ up to Nanning right now, which is fine, especially with how supply is up here. How's his supply? On the front, it's not very good, to be honest. This HQ is going to move up, down towards Quilin, which should improve supply around here a little bit, but until they get on Quilin and Nanning, it's not going to be as good as it could be. The mud is going to otherwise slow us down right here for right now. Here in August, the mud's pretty bad. I really don't understand why this one's movement's so bad, because there's mud. Isn't there a road here? Shouldn't roads defeat mud? This guy just can't move no matter how or where I want him to, which is crazy. This core, I think I'll just move it up for now here so he still sees a continued presence. Moving off of Pekoy sounds stupid because this is where most of our supply is coming from. 87654. It's coming from Pekoy, not Nanning. So again, we'll probably wait till we get this on Quilin and then we'll move up like at the same time. Supply will be like 4 there by that point. 765 will be improved, not perfect, but improved. This is why I sent the ones that are not experienced yet forward, because if they experience any losses, it's fine. We wiped out a core and we've almost wiped out an engineer, and he's got a lot of injured units up here in the front. So many that I argue he could not feasibly sustain the assault that he just started. He needs to reinforce. The most I could see him pushing it is right here, in a desperate bid to kill this core. We'll also upgrade this guy right here, this garrison, with infantry weapons in case he gets any ideas. We're not done yet. We're gonna root this core out. Let's start with the Central Expedition Army here. 2 damage dealt as promised, 1 damage taken, which was not supposed to happen, but it did. 3 damage dealt as promised, no damage taken, just as expected. 34th Army, 3 damage dealt, 1 less than expected. And he's still up and alive, but we might be able to do something about this utilizing cores. I'll send the Central Expedition Army forward a touch, because that should probably scare him. And then we'll move this core up here. It's 0-0 damage, actually. Still, let's say we move the 13th Army back, we move another core forward, and then we attack with the core. We dealt no damage, but it still ran away. And so the cores kind of did their job there. He's no longer sitting in this mountain entrenched and in my way, nor could he really hope to cut me off here, and supply is going to spread more than fine for this upcoming turn. This core is injured too. We're just pushing up, 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 up. A lot of damage he has to reinforce, a lot of decisions he has to make, and I'm pretty content with it. And the main reason I pulled the 13th Army back here is because I figure we might actually just shift him north. Maybe to take the spot of one of these cores that are defending. So we don't even need to worry about a core being here. We just have another army. And this could free up like a core to go here and a core to go somewhere else that they might be needed. Because we could always take, say, this army right here, have 3 armies, still 6 armies in the south, and more stuff freed up for maybe heading over here, free up another core to head up north, and make a stronger center defense. That's kind of where my brain's working right now. And I think that would be worth it. I think that would be a worthwhile endeavor. He's gonna make us a trip through here anyway. Better to spread a little bit more power across, favoring cores where we need numbers, favoring armies where we just need raw power for efficiency's sake, of course. And then splitting armies here. That seems like a decent plan to me. Let's get these German units deployed. Namely, we have a sub to deploy. Obviously, we'll just put it right here for right now. Bismarck battleship. don't really know what to do with that. Probably put it in a port. I like to keep the really important capital ships in ports. Ideally, Bismarck, go right there. There you go, and that's figured out. For Japan, what I was thinking of with the heavy artillery is getting to a point where it would become handy, honestly, sooner rather than later. And there's a 4-month production delay, so if I start making one now, it won't be done till the end of the year anyway. So I'm gonna take my 238 MPPs remaining, use 200 of it to go ahead and make a heavy artillery. Just the one, it's all I can afford. I will gladly get that second one at some point as well, but I want to make it and then maybe send it maybe somewhere around here where it can just serve as defensive fire, or somewhere else where it could also serve kind of in an offensive posture. We'll see what happens. That's a while until it gets complete and to the front, you know? As Germany, I'll go ahead and get some logistics research going. We had 125 MPPs remaining. I was tempted to do anti-air, but I think logistics will actually be more beneficial for us in the upcoming time period. No diplomacy has proceeded, so right now we're exclusively moving units into position, upgrading them, and potentially purchasing new units, but we have purchased all the anti-air that we could ever need right now. 348 MPPs remaining. It is August 30 of 1940, and we're pretty much just waiting. And I will tell you, actually, I'm going to clear out this sub right here. This sub doesn't need to be here anymore. It needs to go somewhere it can recover, because a thing has happened. We've made a deal. Another deal. Basically, I promised him I would let that battleship get away. I had no chance of killing it. I also told him I wouldn't bomb or attack the salmon sub in exchange, and he offered me this deal, by the way. I did not offer him this deal initially. I just modified it. He lets this destroyer go. I have to wait for him to evacuate the Gulf of Aden, though. All the way back to the Mediterranean. And for the entire period that this is traveling back to the Mediterranean, until it's back in port, he's promised to leave all of his naval units in the Mediterranean, either in their ports, where, coincidentally, the human torpedo has a chance of hitting them, although that was not my intention, or to get them out of the Mediterranean altogether. I just let him keep the ports because I didn't think he'd say yes if I told him no ports. I don't think he knows what the human torpedo is anyway, so. With that being said, let's go ahead and let's start bombarding Malta, because down 2 supply right here. By next turn, this will be down to 1. And I can do 6 damage to this right now, so getting it down to 0, which will bounce back up to 1. So he'll be stuck at 1 supply, and then I can pretty much maintain this with 1 battleship. We are probably going to take some casualties here, but 2 resource damage, none taken. 2 resource damage, none taken. And now it's down to 0. It didn't hit me back at all. What the fuck? I thought it would hit me back. I was pretty certain it would hit me back, but it didn't. Which is kind of weird. But, yeah, that's good. That's cool. I am happy with that. We'll move this battleship here. We'll move this one here. And we'll move this one around here. The supply of the anti-air on this is still at 5, but with the town rebounding to 1 next turn and this port being at 1, it should have 1 next turn, which should be as injured as I can possibly make it. So I will maintain that 1, maybe 2, we'll see. It's risky every time I bombard it though. And we will do as much bombing as we possibly can next turn. However, for now, the straight shooter tactical bombers are getting into position, so we have 3 TAC bombers lined up to go after this anti-air. This is going to be a very interesting air campaign. We could then put this medium bomber into its final position, which right here should be fine. Look, we can't, can we even take care of this many units with 1 HQ? I feel like we cannot. I really feel like this is not enough HQ. But it doesn't need to take care of the ones that are like on the towns, which is only 1. Oh god. I might need to send another HQ down here, quite frankly. I don't know, we'll see if it says any of them are low on supply. We're in a very highly supplied area, quite frankly. We also have 192 MPPs as Italy. I'm going to spend that. We're going to go ahead and purchase that maritime bomber that I wanted for them. First maritime bomber. We have no upgrade, so it's really fucking cheap. Just to put on Malta once we take it, and I'm still going to view this as we are taking it. We got ground attack. We're good to go. I'm ready. I'm ready. I have so many bombers lined up. Hopefully it works out. 42 MPPs remaining. We'll upgrade the 10th Army here. Get that nice and upgraded. We'll move forward the 5th Army. And then I'm tempted to move just as far down the road as possible, but I'm also not sure about that. I probably won't. First Army, just move up for now. Get a better idea of what we're dealing with. HQ, move into Tobruk. And then we'll have much better supply in the region. Give that a chance to catch up, let's say, before we actually move any further in. Just kind of take this for right now and make a new defensive line. If he pushes up, we meet what he pushes up with. If not, then we maybe start pushing inward. 17 MPPs remaining. Not an insane amount we could spend that on. Let's just get this second corps out of the way for right now. Doesn't have anywhere really good to go, does it? No, not really. Let's just leave it on Naples for now then. It's fine. We'll just move the medium bomber past there as it tries to catch up. We're going to place it right over here as its final in-range point. We have, like, no more room for bombers over here with the tactics we're using. Literally no more room for anything like this. But it should be fine. We should be good. These fighters will probably not actually be needed right now. So I could send one of them away, because he doesn't have any air protection. He's not going to be able to send any carriers, because he's just agreed to keep things out of the Mediterranean. So I might be able to actually just free up some HQ control by sending the fighters away, because what's he going to defend this with? Literally nothing, unless he breaks our deal. But we don't really do backstabbing and deal breaking in our PvPs, so I think I'll just send the fighters up, because they're not needed down here anymore. And then the bombers, the other bombers could just go over here. Yeah. Let's just do that then, actually. Medium bomber there, this one will eventually get over there, and then we're good. Because we don't need any fighters anymore. And then we'll just bomb the shit out of this repeatedly until it dies, while keeping its supply as close to 1 as possible, by just maybe bombarding it with a battleship every turn. Because that would limit what he can resupply to like 3. So the first bombing run might be pretty painful for us, but after that first one, it would probably become very okay with us. 17 MPPs. So I guess we're done as Italy for right now. Nothing to do until maybe something more like next turn. Since he won't have any protection over there, we're going to go ahead and just move this fighter forward. And I'd say we move it probably like right here. Here would work too. Let's go right there. Right there. So we can cover this in case he tries to come out with any bombers, because I know he would have access to bombers over there, but we want our bomber still where we can go after Malta, the Italian one, to help out the Germans. Let's send this anti-air west like I planned. It's going to take a while to get in position though. At least if he sees this, but I don't think he can because it's a sub. He won't know that this anti-air is there. But the anti-air is going to replace the corps at Cherbourg. And so I think I'll just start moving the one at Cherbourg east right now, rather than maintain it. We don't need all these things over here just yet. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll start moving this one east along the center here with its mobility. And I'll actually just move up these ones and kind of like leave them there. He won't think to really go after Nantes. We're just going to hug this side while we slowly drain our units out of here. Let's try not to raise any suspicion by moving any further into here than we already have. We'll go ahead and we'll reinforce some stuff that's over here. Just burn through MPPs this way. 322 before we move them into further position. Reinforce 3rd Army. There you go. 293. Reinforce this tank. Reinforce this tank up to max. 267. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. 267. I think I'll spend this getting the second rocket, because I want to put one next to Cherbourg, and it'd be able to hit real soon. So let's start making the second rocket. The third one, it's a little more debatable about when we would get that, because nothing else is in very good range. Except maybe like a port. But even then, we need a couple upgrades to really make a third rocket worth it. Because if it's at Cherbourg, we're talking 1, 2, that's the normal range. First upgrade, 3. Got 2 targets right there. And then the upgrade we're researching, 4 right there. This one, even at Lille, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Can hit London one way, no matter where it is over here. Third one, that would only get to hit Norwich. And Norwich at 10 supply would only produce 2.5 MPPs. That's not a whole lot. So that's not really worth it until we can hit like maybe 6 out. And we can hit Cambridge as well. Maybe. But even then, still not exactly worth it, maybe, I'd say. Unless we needed another one to really maintain Cardiff and Bristol after Portsmouth. 2 rockets should be good for right now. 47 MPPs remaining, and just on here on the front. We have a core that could use some upgrades, but it probably cannot get all of its upgrades because, you know, mobility is expensive. I'll just move this core at Warsaw down here, and then we'll move this guy up from loads, and then this one will go up the flank still, just trying to get over there. And then 47 MPPs. We could upgrade something over here still, namely the core at The Hague, The Hague, I don't know. And we could start getting the 30th core moving east from Brussels. So if we send it like just that way, for example, and move the first core onto Brussels for right now, just in case. And it can get some upgrades later. That's 17 MPPs remaining as Germany. There was the ability to reinforce this sub all the way, but I kind of just spent it on upgrades. Whoopsie doodle. We can get the one reinforcement point that we can get. Kind of forgot about that. Oopsie daisy. Let's move the trapper sub down here. Okay, it can raid from right there. Nice and fine. Let's get this boy kind of out of the way. A little more. Send it south. More. And then go right there to continue its raiding. This one will head probably just straight down south and raid from right there. And then this boy will go around probably the Faroe Islands again. Let's go up north. And then a little past the Faroe Islands and right to where that other button was. And that's figured out. Got another sub about to head up and around. We're having no problem getting them out there. And now they're all just slowly going to start getting to raiding, which is good. And maybe that wasn't the best turn ever. Maybe we made a mistake here or there in Europe. Maybe a roll in the north didn't work out quite as well as I'd hoped. But some things went very well for us. We've killed tons of enemy units. If we actually could see, which we might be able to, a graph of MPPs looking at, say, China. And we look at the losses of MPPs in this turn. I think this is this turn right here. Almost 600 MPPs worth of units lost versus Japan, which this is not even the worst turns. Funniest thing, he's gone on offensives that are worse than like what he did and what I just did. But it's still a pretty high turn for us, but it's still only like 130 MPPs worth of units being lost. And then, yeah, still a very good turn for us overall. I'm very happy with it. And I don't think there's really anything else for me to look at. Oh, nice. Look, he did the thing with South Africa. He totally got that idea from my playthrough. I refuse to believe anything else. A lot of things he does come from watching my playthrough. I think that's part of why he wants to win so badly in China is because against the AI, I started winning against the AI in China pretty quickly. It's probably part of why. It's probably just what he's used to seeing in this game. But otherwise, yeah, things are going pretty well. Some resistance, but let's hit end turn and see what happens. Free French seize power in French Equatorial Africa. I'm not surprised. Triumphant seized at Plymouth, given to the Free French Navy. I'm not surprised. General Leclerc forms the Forces Françaises Libres. I can't do French accent. And, ooh, mama. 18%, we got another crit. Oh my god. What were they at? 74%? What is that? 84? That might be past 90. So if they mobilize at 90, then we just got them. If they mobilize at 95, we'll need another turn, but we definitely do not need to put any more MPPs into them to get that, because we'll have a 20% chance and we have a while to go. Ooh, we just got better HQ tech for Germany. Nice. And spying and intelligence. Japan got infantry warfares. It's always good. It's pretty useful. Wow, that end turn resolution, that was really good for us. I'm really curious if that means DEI is mobilizing now and we'll have them next turn, or if it's still going to take one more tick. Even if it takes one more tick, that's not that bad. Either way, that's a full turn. Pass it back over to SirTravis and we have a full episode. So, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.